Right, hello everyone. Welcome to Florida Atlantic University's virtual prospective student information session. Today we're going to go over obviously some information designed to look at the academic information on offer, our career outcomes, and what makes FA unique. My name is Tom Budge. I'm the Assistant Director of First Impressions. My role in the virtual session today is I'm going to be overseeing our Q&A session. So if anyone has any questions, please feel free to put them on the chat, and we'll make sure after we finish with our presentation that we'll spare a little bit of time if anyone has any extra questions. So I'm going to pass over now to DeWitt. He's one of our admissions counselors here, and he's going to take it from here.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. As Tom just said, my name is DeWitt Ramicha, so think of Nike Just Do It, and I serve as an admissions counselor here at Florida Atlantic University, specifically for the North Florida region. All right, so let's get into this information session about FAU. All right, to start off, just some quick facts and figures about FAU and just about our institution. We have about 29,000 students who attend FAU currently, and that number stays about the same every single year. So we're considered a mid-sized institution, so not too small, not too big, kind of just right in the middle. And with that student body, we also have 171,000 alumni who call FAU as their alma mater, all right? We also have 170 plus different degree and academic programs that we offer here at FAU, and they are housed within our various colleges here at FAU. So think of Florida Atlantic University, or FAU, as the umbrella, and under that are our various colleges that house our different degree programs, and they're listed on the right of your screen, okay? All right. And with that being said, FAU as an institution, we constantly are on the rise in terms of rankings and standings across the United States and the world. You know, we recently were named as a top public university by U.S. News and World Report. And another point of pride for us in terms of looking at our student body and the diversity of our academics is that our student body is also diverse and is representative of the global work environment, all right? So we are the #1 most diverse public university in the state of Florida that looks at race, culture, ethnicity, all those different factors, okay? So that looks at all those different variables, and we are the #1 most diverse university. Another point of pride for FAU is that we are also named the best toll package college university by a research organization that looks at job outcomes, all right? And they were looking at all these different measures, so cost, competitiveness, job prospects, as well as career earnings, and looking at our student body and where they go upon graduation. And we were ranked #1 in the state of Florida, as well as #10 nationally. So another great point of pride for FAU, okay? And another big part of that best toll package college or university is our student success network that we have here at FAU to support our students throughout their undergraduate journey. And those are comprised of your 3 key people, okay? So if a student is admitted to FAU, they are automatically linked into a success network composed of these 3 individuals, which are your financial aid counselor, who specifically helps you manage your finances and make sure that you are fiscally in the right situation for your undergraduate journey. You are also assigned a career counselor who essentially is the one who's helping you find internships and making sure that you're on track towards your career goals. So let's say you are pre-law, you would have someone from the beginning who will help you plan out your internships and ensure that you are taking the right steps outside of your academics to ensure that you end up where you want to be, okay? And those are tailored to based off your interests as well as, you know, your career aspirations. Last but not least, your academic advisor is the one who helps you set up that roadmap in terms of courses that you'll be taking throughout your undergraduate journey, semester by semester. They help monitor your progress in your classes and give you recommendations on what classes to take to ensure that you graduate on time, okay? So a big aspect of college and college life is the academics. You're coming to college for an education. So one thing that we do pride ourselves here at FAU on is specifically how we really value academic excellence in our students. And we offer an ample amount of opportunities for our students to really ensure that they excel academically, okay? So beyond the traditional office hours that a professor or teacher may offer to their students for additional help, we also offer free tutoring as well as free supplemental instruction for our students with the courses that they are taking to ensure that they are successful. For our first year students and students who decide to live on campus, we do offer a little extra that I think is definitely unique to FAU. So let's say that we notice that there is a specific floor that may be, or a specific residence hall that may be struggling with, let's say, general chemistry, general psychology, or one of the tougher first year courses, or just a general course that students may be taking. We will actually send out a tutor to those residence halls, and all students really have to do is pause the Netflix movie, go downstairs, get tutoring. And again, we're trying to make things as accessible as possible to our students to ensure that they have the resources that they need to be successful, okay? So kind of on the same page with academic excellence, we offer different opportunities for students to gain honors distinction upon graduation, all right? And there's two different flavors of honors. One is our University Honors Program, which is housed at our main Boca Raton campus. And then there's also the Harriet L. Wilkes Honors College, which is our Jupiter campus, okay? So either route that a student pursues will lead to the same result, which is graduating with honors distinction upon the end of their undergraduate journey. And basically all students have to do is work with a professor or someone who's in that field that they're interested in, and they will come up with a research thesis, which is basically master's level work, and they will defend that thesis upon their senior year and graduating from FAU. And upon successful defense of that thesis, they will graduate with honors distinction, okay? And you're probably seeing the two options here, and you're probably wondering, what is the difference between the two? So the honors program, again, is located at our Boca Raton campus, which is our main campus, and that houses about 25,000 of our 29,000 student body, all right? And this program is more geared towards students who want that traditional university experience. And our Harriet L. Wilkes Honors College is located on our Jupiter campus, which has about 800 students. And that is more of that close-knit liberal arts college feel at a public institution price, okay? So it really depends on what you're trying to seek in terms of your college experience, but either route will lead to that honors distinction, okay? So as I preluded to earlier, in terms of how FAU is structured, we do have multiple campuses for students to take their classes. So as I said earlier, our Boca Raton campus is our mission control, and that houses 25,000 of our 29,000 students, and that is our main heart of FAU. We also have our Jupiter campus, which is our honors college, and then our other 4 campuses are what I like to consider our specialty-based campuses, okay? So our Davie campus, which is located next to Fort Lauderdale, is a campus for students who, let's say, are their junior and senior level, and they are, located, let's say, closer to Fort Lauderdale, and they want to take their courses there. We offer that, but those same courses are offered at Boca as well. And for students who, let's say, may be interested in marine biology or ocean engineering, we have our Harbor Branch campus, as well as our Dania Beach C-Tech campuses, for students to really get their feet wet and get full-on exposure and hands-on experience with those specific fields. We also have our Fort Lauderdale campus, which houses our architecture program, and it makes sense just because again, architecture being in an urban setting and being able to work with all of those different architecture firms in Fort Lauderdale. Again, we do offer that central campus, but we offer these various other campuses for students to get those hands-on experiences, as well as, get, full immersion in whatever they're passionate about, all right? Another thing that I want to touch on as well is our research partnerships that we have here at FAU. And we have 2 key research partnerships for students to get hands-on experiences throughout undergrad. One of which is through the Max Planck Society. So Max Planck, just give you a brief background. It's a research society based out of Germany, and we actually have their only research facility outside of Germany at our Jupiter campus at FAU. So that's an awesome opportunity or avenue for students to really get hands-on experience with neuroscience research, and they are world leading in neuroscience research. We also have our Scripps Research Institute, which is the only Scripps Research Institute outside of California, where students can get full-on hands-on experience with different STEM fields that they may be passionate about as well. And these are all offered to our students no matter what campus they attend. On the flip side of hands-on experiences, we also have 4,000 plus registered internships for students to get experience in whatever they may be interested in and really get that practical real-world experience. Okay, this is a prime example here on the slide. This is actually Kelly. She is a tourism as well as a hospitality management major here at FAU, and she did a internship at the Boca Resort, which is pictured here. Okay. So again, this is awesome, exposure to really get full-on hands-on experience. And again, this all really comes as a result of our location and, kind of being at the heart of our communities in South Florida. We are 30 minutes from West Palm Beach, 30 minutes from Fort Lauderdale, as well as 50 minutes from Miami. So we're in the Tri-City hub. So odds are whatever you're passionate about or whatever you're interested in pursuing post-undergrad, we have a company or a firm or anything here in the South Florida region that is tailored to that, to where you can get that hands-on experience, right? So again, some awesome opportunities, and these registered internships are offered out of our Career Center. So definitely a great opportunity to take advantage of. And our outcomes speak for themselves. So these are our career outcomes, or just a few to list of where our undergraduates have gone, past FAU once they've graduated from here. And again, we have a wide diversity of where our students have gone to, from automotive on the top left to education on the bottom right. This is just a few of many examples of where our students have gone after they've graduated from FAU. So some awesome outcomes here. So at FAU, we were just talking about the academics, but we work hard, but we also play hard as well. And we have a robust student life here at FAU. Just to go through a few things of what makes FAU great in terms of student life is we have over 400 plus clubs and organizations here at FAU. So anything ranging from Greek life to student government, or really anything that you really want to be involved in throughout your undergraduate journey, we have it here at FAU. And if there's something that you notice that we don't have, you as well as a group of your friends can get together and actually create your own student organization and receive funding from the university. And it's a great thing to have in your CV once you graduate as well. So again, it's awesome opportunities to really get involved, and we have a robust way to really get involved as well. We have over 5,000 plus student-led events here at FAU. We have a traditional bonfire event that we have here at FAU. We have, a Festival of Nations, which, celebrates the wide diversity of our student body, which I personally actually led as an undergrad here at FAU. And, many others. In terms of concerts, this is one that's pictured here. I believe this is our bonfire concert. And again, we've had all the major performers come to FAU that you could really imagine, again, being part of South Florida. We've had, Kesha, Luke Bryan, Big Sean, Little Sean, Medium Sean, Grande Sean, Pequeño Sean. We've had all the Seans here at FAU, right? We also have an awesome campus rec center here at FAU that houses our, exercise facilities and ways to really, stay in shape while you're an undergrad. And, it's really top notch, and one of the key things that we always hear that students love once ever they tour here at FAU, right? And the Campus Rec Center actually offers, rentals for students. Let's say if you want to go kayaking or, do something outdoors, you can actually rent equipment from our Campus Rec Center. So again, there's awesome opportunities that are offered out of our rec center for students if they really want to get out and really be active. So FAU, we're always growing and developing as an institution, and these are just a few of the projects that are going on here at FAU in terms of construction. We have a new student union. So our current student union is actually being renovated, and the picture that you see here on the slide is actually what our student union will look like once the renovations are done. It's currently being done in phases. We also have a new residence hall that is being built as we speak. It's actually going on right next to the office building where I'm presenting out of right now. And that is expected to be done by fall 2021, okay? Next, we have our Schmidt Family Complex, which houses our sports memorabilia gallery, as well as a state-of-the-art tutoring center for our students. So that's a new project that has just been built and is currently up and operating as we speak. We also have our Gruber Sandbox, which is an artificial intelligence kind of a facility where students can really take their ideas in terms of things they want to create with artificial intelligence and go out and create it. And that is housed within our library here at FAU. So some awesome stuff that's coming up here. All right, so let's get to the application process and what that looks like. So there's two different applications that you can complete. One is on our website, and that is at apply.fau.edu. And there's also the Common App, which you can also complete and send to us as well. Either route that you take will equal, consideration by our evaluation team for admission. No route is better than the other, all right? So one thing that I do want to say is please don't apply to both. I've had the question before, if I apply to both, will I have double the chance of getting in? Unfortunately, that's not how it works. So please make sure that you pick one and just go with that. So the process looks like this. You're going to complete the application and submit your $30 application fee, and then submit your self-reported student academic record, which is also abbreviated as the SAR. Basically, this is where you're going to be going line by line through your high school transcript and self-reporting all the grades that you got throughout high school. So, an example being in 9th grade, I took English 1, it was honors, and I got a B in it. You're going line by line through your transcripts. And I always get the question, why can't I just send you my official transcript through the mail or whatever may have you, and you just evaluate that? So reason being is different high school transcripts, depending on where you went, may look different. And I know that's kind of a mouthful, but I'm going to explain. Some high schools may do 5.0 GPA, some high schools may do 6.0 GPAs. I had a student come to me once who said they had 166 GPA. I personally don't know what that means, all right? So when y'all do the self-reported academic record, it basically makes your transcript look uniform. And once that form comes to us, all the forms that we're getting are going to look the same, so we can recalculate your GPA and make the evaluation process as fair as possible. So that is why we have the self-reported academic record, okay? The next piece is going to be submitting your SAT or ACT scores for admission. So one of the two are required for admission here at FAU, all right? And that is it, easy 1, 2, 3. Now, in terms of what our student profile looks like for admitted students, on the right of your screen, you're going to see our middle 50% for admitted first-year students. So middle 50% meaning that 25% of students gotten below this range and 25% of students gotten above this range. So it's that middle ground. These aren't cutoffs. They're just giving you guidance in terms of what students may be admitted for specific terms. Now, with that being said, I do want to note that the GPAs on this table are weighted. And, again, the SATs and ACTs are pretty self-explanatory there. All right, so I just want to make note of that. Now, another thing that I want to note from being an admissions counselor here at FAU is don't let your numbers guide you in terms of what term you apply for. Let's say your numbers are more summer, but you really want to get into the fall. Apply for the fall semester, and our evaluation team will make the recommendation to what term you should be assigned for. But again, the only place where you can put your preference is on that application, okay? So please make note of that. So you can apply for the fall and get in for the summer type of deal. So you're considered for every single term of admission here at FAU. So I just want to make a note of that to y'all. Again, apply for what you desire and then let our team make the call from there. And let's say you apply for the fall, get in for the summer, but you retake the SAT or ACT or raise your GPA or both. You can request to be reevaluated for the fall semester later on once you update your information with us. So again, things are flexible. We just advise that you work with your admissions counselor as you're going through the process, right? So for students, if they are admitted to FAU, they will go through the process of becoming OWL done. That sounds corny, but you're going to hear a lot of OWLisms here at FAU, right? So the process of becoming OWL done is 7 steps. So the first of which is submitting your tuition deposit. So for freshman students, that is $200. And that basically holds your spot in confirming your enrollment here at FAU, telling us that you want to be an OWL, okay? And essentially from there, once you submit that, that will actually be, so that $200 will be deducted from your first semester cost of attendance here at FAU. So the money is going somewhere, okay? Next, you will apply for housing, okay? So for students who are greater than 30 miles away from our main campus, you will be required to live on campus during your freshman year. For students who live under 30 miles, you have the option to commute, okay? So again, that's just something to note as well. Whether you're commuting or if you live on campus, you are allowed to have a car on campus because that is a common question that I get. After that, you will register for SOAR, which is our orientation process or orientation. And that is where you get your full immersion in terms of, campus life, resources that are available to you as a student, and really gets your feet, at a good foundation to where when you start classes, you're ready to go. Next, for Florida residents, you will verify your residency by submitting those documents and getting that in-state tuition rate if you are a Florida resident. After that, you will submit your immunization records, make sure that's all taken care of. Complete your online advising, which will be done, taking into account your AP, your IB courses, honors courses, things like that. And our advisors here will give you recommendations on what classes you can take. Last but not least, you get to register for classes, and then you are officially an OWL once you go through this whole process. All right, so let's talk finances really quickly before we end out here. So our FAU scholarship deadline or priority deadline to be automatically considered for the various scholarships that we offer here at FAU is January 1st. So January 1st is that deadline. So make sure that you apply as early as possible because again, our admissions is rolling. So we do encourage you to apply as soon as you can. Our application for the next admission cycle for, all you juniors is going to be August 1st. And that's when that application will open up for y'all to begin submitting that application. So again, the earlier the better with those applications. Next, the FAFSA, which is your free application for federal student aid, keyword there, free, all right? It's basically, it's an application that you will fill out, and basically it will guide our financial aid office on what to award you in terms of your financial aid package, coming here. And again, your application for admission and your FAFSA are the two things that our financial aid team takes into account when making your scholarship as well as award package for attendance here at FAU. Another key word with the free application for federal student aid is the word federal. So no matter what college or university that you attend in the United States, if you're seeking financial aid, you will need to complete the FAFSA, okay? Also, I highly encourage you if you're applying to FAU and going through the process, also, take a look at our financial aid website or just Google FAU scholarships to see all the various other scholarships that we offer here at FAU or, scholarships that are external to FAU that you can apply for as well to fund your education. And the last quick thing I want to talk about is Raise Me. Raise Me, from what, has been communicated to me, is essentially an app that is similar to Instagram where you can follow various schools and self-report things that you're already doing in high school to earn micro scholarships. So again, for y'all who are trying to get ahead on those college finances, I would recommend going to the App Store or, whatever device may have you, and get that app, because it's an awesome way of getting ahead on those college finances and really just planning ahead, right? And just self-reporting things that you're already doing now to get ahead on those college finances. All right. So with that being said, thank you so much for listening to my TED Talk on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon. I appreciate y'all listening through this presentation, and we are about to move into a Q&A. So with that being said, thank you for spending time with us here at FAU. And then, we highly appreciate it. And go Owls! Tom?
Awesome. So thank you very much for that, DeWitt. I very want to quickly address a couple of questions that we still have going on. So DeWitt, would you mind explaining the difference very quickly between the honors program and our honors college?
Yes, sir. So the honors program is based, the key difference here is one is based out of our Boca Raton campus, which is our main campus, and the other, the Harry L. Wilkes Honors College, is based out of our Jupiter campus. So that is really the key distinction between the two. Again, the honors program is more geared towards students who want that traditional university experience. And the Harry L. Wilkes Honors College is, full on, all honors all the time. And that campus is specifically there to house our honors program. And basically that's just a way for you to really get, that close-knit liberal arts college type feel at a public institution price. Because again, the key difference here is the one campus is about 25,000 students and the other one's about 800 students, all right? And again, the Boca campus, you got a mix of everyone versus the honors college in Jupiter, which is basically just all honors, 800 students type of deal.
Awesome. Thank you very much. All right, so we have some more questions, DeWitt, if you can help us out in this one. So if a student were to apply today, how long would it take for us to give our decision, right?
Yes, sir. So just a guideline that we kind of put out, just general guidance, is it typically takes about 4 to 6 weeks for our team to evaluate files. Again, it really depends on what term that you're going for, and that 4 to 6 week window typically starts once your application is complete, not when you submit your application. So key distinction there is you can submit your application, but we need your transcripts as well as your test scores and everything to complete your file so our team can review that file. So about 4 to 6 weeks typically is what students have to wait for their decision to be made. It can be sooner, it can be later than that. The 4 to 6 weeks is the general guideline.
And DeWitt, very quickly,
yes,
how does that foreign language requirement work with that application? For example, if a student was to not take a foreign language in high school, how would they kind of meet those requirements for FAU?
Very good question. So there are multiple options for that. I'm not actually 100% well versed on that. Tom, do you have any idea about that?
So in terms of that, obviously you'd kind of work one-on-one with our admissions team to see what's on your transcript, if there's anything we can use as a foreign language requirement. But what my recommendation is to reach out to our office so you can speak with them one-on-one, so we can kind of dive into that a little bit more in detail. It's not kind of a blanket answer that we provide. It's something that we'd look to depending on the individual situation of the student. So again, it depends what you took in high school as to what we can use. So my recommendation for that is to definitely just give us a call and just let us know, and then we can talk you through it. Another quick question.
Yep.
Another quick question for you, DeWitt. So,
yes, sir.
In-state tuition, right? So if a student was coming from out of state, how long would it take for a student to then qualify for in-state tuition?
Yes, sir. So that's actually a very good question. Now, there's some key things, and residency is a little complicated, but just to give you a quick, answer here, is if you're out of state and you know that you want to classify for in-state at a later time, what I would personally recommend, and this is something that you have to do to reclassify, is once you get down to Florida, Make sure that you change your driver's license as well as your vehicle registration or have a voter's card with, the state of Florida. So the driver's license is required, but you can pick between the last two, which is the voter's card or the vehicle registration. And those have to date a full 1 year in order to qualify for that in-state tuition rate or reclassify as a Florida resident. Also, you need to have a job or have, income of $10,000 roughly to, not be claimed under your parents for, residency purposes and be filing as an independent. And if those two things, which is the documentation as well as the income, is met, you can qualify or reclassify at a later time. Just making sure that everything is 1 year in length here in Florida.
Perfect. Thanks, DeWitt. Very quickly, when is our tuition deposit deadline?
May 1. May 1st if you are going to start in the summer or fall semester. It's May 1.
Awesome. Perfect. Thanks, DeWitt. And how do AP credits transfer in?
AP credits. So we do take AP credits, granted, that you passed that exam with a 3 or higher for that AP test. And there is a full table that is posted on our website. If you just type in FAU admissions exam credit into Google, you can look at our table and see what specific classes translate to what AP test may translate to a specific class here at FAU. But we do take AP credits. One thing that I would recommend is ensure that you have your transcript or your score report from College Board directly sent to our office for review.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you very much. And very, very quickly, we had a latecomer on here today. Could you briefly go over a couple of the research opportunities that we've got?
Yes, sir. So there is a wide variety of different research opportunities that we offer here. I believe that number is over 6,000 plus different research activities that are going on here at FAU. So anything ranging from STEM to the liberal arts, we have it. So, you don't have to necessarily be washing beakers to be doing research. We have, awesome opportunities through our research partnerships, one of which that I talked about earlier is our Max Planck Society Research Institute that we have here in FAU. And what makes that distinct is we have the only Max Planck Research Institute outside of Germany, and they specifically focus on neuroscience, and they are a world-leading research institute for that. So on top of that, we also have our research partnership with Scripps. And basically, they are more STEM-based, but again, we have the only research institute for Scripps outside of California. So those are all, research organizations that are tied to FAU that you can get those hands-on research experiences. Now, even beyond that, let's say, for me personally as an undergrad, actually, I was a neuroscience and bio major here at FAU, but I also had an interest in diversity and religion. All right. So I actually paired up with a research faculty member in our College of Arts and Letters, and we worked on a religion research project. And we did that for about a year and actually got invited to go present at an international conference in London. And FAU actually paid for that whole way out there and supported me through that presentation and preparation process. So there is a whole wide different array of things that you can get in terms of research opportunities here at FAU.
Awesome. Excellent. And DeWitt, I think one last question. If anyone has any more questions, please pop them in the chat now so we can answer those for you. But I've had a question regarding financial aid. Obviously, we have our financial aid office that covers this, but in terms of Bright Futures, so I understand, a student here has a 75% Bright Futures award, which is awesome, but it only covers around $2,000, which doesn't quite kind of match up to, I think, the expectation there. So how would you go about, kind of looking into your financial aid package?
Yeah, very good question. So first and foremost, I would definitely, recommend speaking to your financial aid counselor specifically, regarding the numbers and making sure that you are covered for your cost of attendance. But in terms of how Bright Futures and everything plays a role in everything is, Bright Futures will go to your tuition costs first, and that'll be the first thing that is prioritized. And then any additional financial aid that is offered by FAU to you will cover the rest beyond that point. So whatever your package may look like, again, it varies on a case-by-case basis. But again, the first priority is Bright Futures covering that tuition portion, so 75%, and then past that point, the rest of your financial aid package would just go into effect there.
Awesome, thanks. So perfect. So everyone who's still listening, I've just put the financial aid telephone number into the group's chat, so everyone can see that. I also have a question from Amir regarding work study. So I'll actually be the person to answer that question for you. So I oversee our student admissions representatives. So this is our group that goes out and gives tours, right? If my students complete their FAFSA and are work study eligible, then they get put on the work study program. They're doing the same role in our office as those who are not work study eligible. So there are so many different jobs that you can get. For example, in our office, we have students who answer the phones in our call center, help us with enrollment processing, help us give campus tours and things like that. We also have so many different departments on campus who are willing to offer jobs for those who are work study eligible. A very, very good way is to go through our career center. Our career center offers jobs in multiple departments, and anyone who's advertising for roles on campus will go through Handshake. This is a job board strictly for FAU students, so you can go on there, have a search, and you'll see a lot of different roles for work study students. So, a couple more questions coming in. I know there's going to be some changes in AP testing this year. How will those affect how accepted AP scores come in?
Can you repeat the question?
Yes, for sure. So there's changes in AP scores this year, DeWitt. How will that look? How will those changes be reflected on what we accept? Yeah,
so that's a very good question. So again, it really varies on a case-by-case basis, assuming, because again, our situation in terms of what's going on right now is developing every single day, if not every single hour or every minute. So my biggest recommendation there is, see what you finish with regards to your AP coursework and your test scores and stuff like that. And once you have everything completed, communicate that to us and we can work from there. That's really all I can say at this point, because we're kind of just working through, this whole situation and kind of gauging how we're going to do things. And again, those types of things need to be evaluated on a case-by-case basis.
Yeah, awesome. And we also have a question from Maria. So Maria is a junior at the minute, and she hasn't taken her SAT yet because obviously the tests that she's been scheduled for have been cancelled. Right. Would we still require it if the SAT board continues to cancel it?
Yes. So it's not necessarily, that wouldn't be like an FAU answer per se. That is actually mandated by the Florida Board of Governors, essentially, who has that requirement set for us to require test scores from our applicants. So at this point in time, yes, we will still require it. But again, we're not necessarily making that decision from in-house. That is a state thing. So all the other state schools are going to be following that guidance from our Board of Governors here in the state of Florida.
Perfect. And as a junior, Maria, you have plenty of time to get that SAT sorted. So don't worry too much about that one. Everyone is going to be in the same situation. Awesome. So does anyone have any last-minute questions? Any final questions? I'll just wait a minute or so, see if anyone's typing. Right. I believe that is it. So thank you all so very much for joining us. Before you go, I do want to point everybody onto our Instagram page. This is where a lot of our live virtual tours. Yesterday we had a virtual Q&A with housing and all of our kind of different content to keep connected while obviously, I see Tyler's got a question there. So yeah, all of our media content and things like that so we can stay connected while everyone is at home. So do have a little look on there. So I'm just going to wait for you for a second, Tyler, to type that question in so we can get an answer for you. And if anyone else has any questions, just drop them in. So DeWitt, while Tyler is typing, you were an FAU student. You were an FAU graduate. How was your experience here at FAU?
Honestly, I loved it. You know, again, hence why I'm here working as an admissions counselor. I wouldn't be advocating the FAU experience if I didn't believe in it. Just some background about me, if y'all have questions about the programs that I did here at FAU. I was a biology and neuroscience dual degree major here at FAU. And then I went on to do my master's of public health at the University of Florida. So I consider myself an alligator. I think I'm funny, but yeah. I was a recent graduate from FAU. I actually graduated in 2017 and just got my master's in 2019. So, yeah.
Awesome. Perfect, perfect. So, Tyler, I think we're just waiting for that one. And yeah, anyone else have any questions, just drop them in. There we go, just come through.
Perfect.
Perfect. Cool. So, Tyler, we understand that there's going to be a lot of people in that same situation as you, right? So there's a lot of people adjusting to those online classes. I'm not 100% sure, but I know a lot of schools are looking at pass-fail grades. So this basically means that your GPA wouldn't be affected by the classes that you take online. This isn't something we can guarantee, but it's definitely something that's being mentioned, being looked at, and obviously here at FAU we do consider every single student's application and every single student's, you know, circumstances individually. So if you are having issues with that kind of adaptation, that adjustment, then, you know, just get in contact with us, just let us know, drop us an email at admissions@fau.edu, and then we can definitely take that into account. So that's something that, again, a lot of people are going through, so don't panic, don't worry about that one. We have a great student accessibility services department, so they can help with note taking and with things like that as well. So they're definitely a great kind of resource for you when you get onto campus as well. So I believe that was the last question.
All right, thank you all so much.
Very quickly, I'm gonna just reply to Tyler very quickly. Give me a second, just with. There we go. Perfect. Right. So I believe that is us all finished. No further questions. If anyone else does have any questions, anything they think of later on today or tomorrow, and they just want to get in touch with us, you can email us at admissions@fau.edu, or you can drop us a call at 561-297-3040, and we can answer any of those questions as well. So thank you all for attending. We really, really appreciate you jumping on and being on the call with us. And like I say, any more questions, you just let us know. But from us, that's it. Thank you very much.
All right.